Alafia and Cabo, everybody.
Cabo.
I am Awo Ifa Jamini Ray.
And I am Awo Ifa Tegunshel Sadela.
And you are tuned in to the greatest podcast on Earth, the planet Earth, with an F, because I'm from the South. The greatest podcast on the planet, y'all. Let's talk IFA. I say why.
Here we are with another episode.
And another very extremely special guest that we have today. My brother, you want to do the introduction?
I definitely would love to do this introduction here. Everyone, we have the pleasure, the honor of having my brother, who I grew up with in Oyotunji, the Alagba Babatunde Akinsegun. Oyewole.
Awokoya.
Yeah,
there's a lot of
many names.
Our good brother, one of the, I'm not just saying this, but one of the best people that I actually know, like in real life.
Yes.
My brother, why don't you take a moment to introduce yourself and just give a brief background of who you are and who your parents are.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the introduction. I guess it's good to say my whole name. My name is Alagba Babatunde Akinsegun Akinsegun. That is all of my titles and all of my names and surnames. We come from the lineage of the Akinsegun, which is my mother's family, the Iyalode Oshungumi, Iyalode of Oyotunji, Iba, she passed 2017, so we say Iba. And we come from the lineage of my father, who is Bale Oguntosi, who passed in 2015. And so we're here on their shoulders. They are one of the elder progenitors of Yoruba culture and Oyotunji here in the United States and the diaspora. My family started in this culture from New York City, doing the first temple, the first site for Oyotunji, and followed His Highness Oba Efuntola here to South Carolina, where they had lots of children. I believe I'm the fifth or fourth child of this great lineage. And so my mother and father did their work and made sure that I was able to be here today as the Alagba of Oyotunji in the United States and diaspora. That's a great legacy to stand on. So we come here humble. My parents installed a lot in us, and from the beginning, it was said that my name was Awokoya. That's my first Ifa name, and that's the first name, my first name, period. It was Ifa that said I had to join all the societies, all the Egbe's. And so my journey started, joining all the Egbe's, starting from the Men's Society, the Akinkanju Society, going into Egbe Gungun at an early age, and then getting initiated to Orisha, Obatala,
Orisha.
And receiving all of the rest of the Orishas, my Yege Oshun, becoming part of those temples. When you receive the Orisha, you become part of those temples. That's why a lot of people feel like they priest when they have those Orishas, because you become part of those temples. So it was my venture to join all the temples. So now in my house, I've developed a massive amount of Orisha, so I can be part of all these temples. And my last venture was IFA, to get initiated into IFA from my Oluwo, Ifa Bemi, Fadare, there in Iseyin, Oyo. And so here we are. One of my main accomplishments was becoming the Alagba of Oyotunji in 2011. We was the OC Alagba from 2007. So from 2007, I was there administrating the Egungun festivals and many Egunguns parading throughout the United States and the diaspora. Traveling from St. Thomas to Jamaica to Nigeria, celebrating and networking with Egungun. Yeah, so here we are.
Shay.
Yeah.
And he does his job, his work so well.
We can all attest to that.
Yes, great leader of Egungun society here in the diaspora, and like I know Alagba, we pretty much grew up together in Oyotunji. So Alagba has always been level-headed.
Okay. That's cool.
Credit it too. Level-headed. Stubborn at times. Of course, we can talk about that.
We do got a good relationship with music too. I can't leave that out. Growing up, we did the music. You know, whether it's
still
hip-hop,
doing it,
African jazz, hip hop, Afrobeat, traditional music. Yeah. That's one of my accomplishments. Also, the Brothers of the Warrior Tribe. We've been doing that. It seems like we live at least 3 different lives.
Yes.
All
the time.
Because you got different old lifespans where you did one thing and you had fame for that, and you just you live that life. Now you're doing something way else. And you got that that same fame and that same honor to do it.
So Alagba, what was it like for you growing up in the village with your own experience, or growing up here or in the area, or however let you explain that?
Okay, I got to give props to my parents again, because when you're born in the village, you first born to your compound, and so in my compound we had various things that we did in our compound, and then we had various things that we did in Oyotunji. But in my compound, it started with creativity. There was, even though there was in Oyotunji a time where we don't say no English, we speak Yoruba. In my family, we would do it every week, and in that household, when TV came out, because this is after TV time.
Right.
A little backstory, Oyotunji didn't have no electric, no plumbing, no nothing. It was just straight living out in the woods, building our houses. We had houses, but we had to hook up our TV to an electric battery if we want to watch a TV. So it was mostly we're gonna watch a show that everybody want to watch, because we don't want to waste the battery.
Go back to that, but I'm not interrupting you. But
real quick, because so moving forward, when we got TV or anything that was distracting, my Baba said it had to be educational on that day, which was on Sunday. So we had to watch only educational TV.
There we go.
Or sing educational songs.
I'm about to implement that.
So it's a lot of things that we couldn't, and then we couldn't speak no English from then on too. So that helped me, curve my way of doing things, because that's just an example of the things that my family, my mother, my father instilled in what we do. Before we leave the house, we had to say Awakiwani Torinami. Before we go, like if we go into the movies, I gotta meet my friends over there. They know they're gonna be waiting outside the door, because I gotta say Awakiwani Torinami. Greet my mother and my father that leave the house. And that means I greet character, because that's me. So they know that you're going to be acting a certain way. So
You step out.
growing up in Oyotunji, I was growing up as a Akinsegun person in Oyotunji. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I already came in Oyotunji. I came out the gates of my compound to Oyotunji,
Right.
but I already had the Akinsegun instilled in me that, hey, this is where you got to move. And then when you get to the Oyotunji life, you have elders that really take on that next step of cultivating you and moving you. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's, okay, now we're going to go make a mirror, now we're going to go break, or now we're going to go chop the trees down, now we're going to go, it's still that structure of let's keep it moving, let's keep working. So what I got from growing up in Oyotunji is to keep moving and to keep working. Okay. Another accomplishment, because I'm out Koya, so I'm gonna probably bring a bunch of little accomplishments in there. But my other accomplishments is that I have a double bachelor's degree in art. I went straight to college from the Yoruba Road Academy. So when I was in college, that was I was doing. Every day I was like, okay, I gotta do something every day. Opposed from class, I gotta create something that's gonna take me to the next level. I gotta make $1, or I gotta, do something for that next day because it was installed in me to keep moving. Coming from Oyotunji,
That says a lot. Because, I think that that's a better situation than what we have today. Like I wish a lot of those elders were still here to help us still implement those things because, we busy, we got money to make and whatever jobs to go to or events and things that we're moving around as preaching. We do have our kids with us. But it would be nice if like some of those things, what you're talking about, need to come back. It's too much.
On the Waterwall compound where I lived at, it was structured in a way where everybody, like all of the Baba and then his ayahs, his wives, they had to take turns watching the home all day. You don't have that kind of, we don't have that kind of strong bond like that anymore.
So everybody gets a break.
So everybody get a break, right. So I had like, Yasin was my mother, Oshutoki.
So you had other mothers and aunts and
like when my yaya had to go and do something, take care of some business, she knew that the co-wives got us. We was gonna eat, and then we was gonna be secure.
You're gonna be taken care of.
Right. And that's how the structure was, because that was polygamy then. That's the way polygamy went.
Right. So you grew up in a polygamous household.
Right. And so you was able to, you had support. You had support. So we don't have that no more. That's how I know we grew up like that. Like I said, that's how
I grew up in a polygamous household also. Y'all may have more co-mothers. But even with the godchildren, and I would say on Ibarra, not just clients, they will look out for the children too, because they're part of that structure. So when the chief come out, like the chief come out with his godchildren, his wives, even his own Ibarra, is coming in with him. That his guests, that's everybody that's gonna come and present themselves when it's time for presentation. And these are the people that's gonna watch the children, But even with me coming out, like when I came out my gates, I had other adults. So when we send, even if we're not there, like we gotta have a understanding with each other that the children are our number one thing, And first of all, the children are off limits to any type of beef that we have. You know what I'm saying? The children are off limits.
Supposed to be. I know how I grew up, and there was beef, and there was cousins didn't see cousins because the mom and whoever wasn't getting along.
No. That's the problem. And the children are off limits. The family should be off limits because, this culture is who we gonna grow up with. And you can try to, raise your child a certain way, but your children is going to want to meet other cultural people. And here go the people that you don't get along with children. And they meeting your children. Now you only want your children to be successful, but you're not caring about the next person's children.
Right.
And if they follow the next person's children,
they mama or daddy or something.
yeah. But if they follow the next person's children, to like, let's say your child they find a person that they can work with, you know, to a point to where they take their ideas and say, hey, I'll roll with your ideas. You know, you want your child to be great, but you want that person to be great because your child is working with that person's child, you know, and your child might be the demise of another person's ungreatness or whatever fault you want to put on them, you know, or whatever, you know, oh, that's them. No, that's us, really.
That's us.
That's us because, you know, our children. That's one of the main things that I'm into now is making sure the children.
The children
is okay.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah. So we talk about the school. You know, us three, we talk about it a lot because it's very important to us. I mean, you know, my mother was an educator. It was 8 of them, four girls and 4 boys, and 4 of them were like teachers.
Royal Academy.
Yeah, and I'm one of the major educators.
Yeah, so teacher. You know, and we all love kids and the children, and you know, the young brothers, you know, especially the young boys, because we men, right? So, but anyway, yeah, it's super important. You know, school, training somewhere for them because they love coming to the village. And school is just, you know, it's a crapshoot. It's like my school now where I go to. It's cool. I like the teachers or whatever, but it's still a public school.
Right.
People's schools get shot up every day. I don't, you know. That part.
No, we're gonna work. See, the thing about the school is we can't say the school is not going on because if you only know, we've been through this before. You know what I'm saying? Like I graduated by myself in the school,
right?
But yet and still, my younger sister Boomy, my younger brother Baby, they graduated from the school also. So you got to look at the flow of things.
Yeah.
But
it's a cycle.
Yeah, the cycle of everything.
Yeah.
And so now what we are is on a cycle of bringing it back,
renewing.
You know what I'm saying?
Refurbishing it. Yeah.
And I'm gonna just put it out there that probably by the time this podcast come out, you're gonna see our advertisements for the school and working on the school or the coalition actually going on because we do. Right. Have a coalition going on, and if this come out and you don't know, now you can reach out to everybody and make this coalition happen.
We need you, whatever expertise you may have, because we got
skills. Skills.
If you can't physically be here, then you can
donations.
Virtually or your expertise,
Well, like we said, the school is going to have to have a virtual function. You're gonna have to have a virtual function because
that's where it's at now.
We can't allow our children to be so separate,
And
if we can bring them together and educate them together, that'll be the best thing.
Be the best.
And we know how to do it, you know. It's just the structure part that getting together, organizing. We can teach all day. Everybody's a scholar. Everybody's some type of
teach.
Everybody's got their skills. Everybody got their professions. But we got to come together. We got to be able to, not just me, you, and
because we got stuff to do. So if everybody puts in 2 or 3 hours here and there, we can make it happen. But we need more people to do that. I wish I could sit here.
Professional people too. We need some people.
We need teachers.
Structure it out and
retired teachers. We need people that know the administrative side of schools and how to do maneuver that.
But see, I can tell you a Baba in the EI that can do all that. Like we got a Baba in the EI that's fully emancipated. Have changed their whole name. Probably been in the culture for a long time, out in the system, giving our dues, but one day we're gonna get all those people together. We
gotta gather the resources and make it happen because we have to do that. All these Yoruba people now, people that's in the culture, whatever. Priests, Abarisha, devotees, just all the people in the culture now in this little just, like we should have a school here, we should have one in Charlotte, we should have one in Atlanta, we should have one in DC, we should have one in New York, we should have one in,
Chicago.
But at least have the virtual.
Yeah.
And then grow off that so that, the people's already together.
You can't make it physically to a site. Like I was saying, even if we started with I'm just throwing stuff out there, summer program or after school program or something, right?
Yeah.
And then let it grow into a full blown regular school. We got our sister in Columbia. I forget her name, but they have a school, independent, the sister. She's in Columbia, South Carolina. It might be Uhuru. I can't remember the name.
I don't want to throw no names out.
But it's we got.
I know a lot of I can throw the names out.
Maybe we got to tap in. That's the point. Is that we got to tap in with people that can.
Well, because we graduated from a charter school, that we have here at Oyotunji.
Right.
So that whole we can take that and don't have to make that be the number one. It can be what's the word? Like a
supplemental.
No, it could be like a coalition. We can have a coalition with that school that's in Columbia.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Without having to change our name to that school or anything. Would it be a coalition of schools?
Right.
Because they got the Uhuru school and all the way in Texas.
It's like a conference.
Yeah.
So we in the same conference.
Yeah, we
sharing resources.
We sharing the
resources.
Yeah, something like that. Because we gotta make our children together.
Yeah, that makes it a lot easier.
And we'll help the children.
Is all we have to do. That's what I said. Do what we're doing.
Yeah.
But have it in order. Everybody's doing it in some way.
And then we have festivals almost every month. So you have a component there where all the kids that come together for an hour or two on the connecting them with the school that they've been remote. Because we come in here for the festivals anyway, or you should be.
You should be.
All my Egungun initiates, pot holders, priests, it's probably thousands out there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
It's a lot.
If
I've seen growing up in Oyotunji how many people came through here when I was a kid, came through here and got initiated.
You going back 30, 40 years.
You got a lot of,
it's a lot of, it's time to come back. We're putting out the bat signal. This is the bat call to either come back home to Oyotunji physically or virtually. But
well, I wouldn't say they're not back. I would say get active more. Because we have been
reactivating.
We have been connecting a lot of Egbe members together. And working on connecting the ballets, which is the Egungun Groves.
You want to speak on that a little bit?
What was that? I think that was 2007 or 2011. It probably was 2011. Probably 2011 was the first Ibega that we had our Egungun conference at.
And Ibega
Alade is the elevation festival that we do for Oba Efuntola.
The first Oba of Oyotunji Kingdom.
Yes. So we do that celebration, and I was made the Alagba that October at King's Day, which is the celebration of the King's Festival in Oyotunji. And then that February, we called on the first conference of trying to reach out to all Egbe members and getting them to come together, and we fed them, everybody ate, they talked about it, and then we talked about the structure of Oyotunji, of the Egbe Egungun outside of Oyotunji, and how it can structure into the other Egungun groves outside of the United States. And from then on, it just, started growing and growing. 2013, Africa House, which is a project by my brother, Bamidele. He came and brought out the Isheshe Gungun Ayeloja to our society. And so the connection started with Africa House in Ondo, you know, and the Elisha Ire Temple, Igbale, was growing still too, and so they were always there also. So that connection stayed there, you know. And Ifa Jalumi, which is in Chicago, you know, he was at the conference actually, you know, at the festival, Ibega Alade, where we serve people and explain, you know, the structures and how you have Alagba Yagan, Oloko, Atokun, you know, the different societies, treasurers and secretaries and all those type of things. And from then on, you know, we just started organizing and organizing. As people come into the Egbe, you know, we ask them their expertise so we can see how they can work in the Egbe,
Right.
you know. And so as we started finding people expertise, started growing and growing, and now we have, you know, LLC, which is Egbe Gungun LLC, and we have a connection of, you know, various amounts of Alagbas within the United States and in Africa, and various amounts of Egbe Gunguns and, you know, Egungun spots within the United States and across the the board. And we meet, you know. We're a very secret society, so I can't really say, you know, all that, you know, it is, but we meet, we organize, and it's a blessing to be, you know, to have this turnout, you know, because it's been, about 12 years now that I've been at Alagba, you know, and, you know, it's good to have connected with everybody that's in Egbe Gungun. But now, like Bob was saying, we're calling you to action.
We need to reactivate.
We need to call you to action, you know?
Form like Voltron.
Like I said, you don't even, if we understand, time and money, if you can't make it here, that's cool. But we will be giving details where you can either join the call or we'll have certain meetings where you can, certain people you can contact. And in order to, for instance, like Baba said, let us know what your skills and expertise is. And then we'll come up with some things, and we'll help. You know, we'll need your help. We'll guide you in things, and
So like Yomi said, we're going live, and so we putting it out there to y'all. So it can never be said that we didn't open our doors, because this is going live. And we telling you all that either way, there's an open communication.
That's it. Yeah, so we have a Gungunla, EGUNGUNLA.com. For all Egbe Gungun members that don't know how to reach out, you know, if they, you know, because I'm sure everybody got my number, but
we'll put it up.
If you don't have my number, you can go to Gungunla.com. Reach out. In the information box, you tell us you're an Egbe member, you know, of course we're going to drill you. You're going to have to say the code words and everything to be able to get through. But, you know, reach out. Because like Yomi was saying, because we can connect with a couple hundreds of us right now, which is good, you know. But like you were saying, we're in the thousands, you know.
It's
so when we had our last conference, like we had a retreat, an Egungun retreat, it was successful.
It was beautiful.
Because we had a couple, like, you know, we had a lot of people there. But like Yomi said, we're in the thousands, you know.
Because you got to look at it, the other Alagbas out there are teaching people. That come, the Alagbas that were made in Oyotunji, now they got people. Those are still our people.
Everybody understands the family connection.
So it's thousands. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
You know, and there's no reason why there shouldn't be something where we can all come together at a certain time and communicate with each other. See what they're doing. Everybody say what they're doing in their communities with ancestor veneration.
So speaking of that, Alagba, I wanted to ask you, for those listening or watching that may be newer to the culture, Can you kind of go over a summary of ancestor veneration? Why do we do it? You know, and kind of the different levels of it. Kind of how the system is set up here through Oyotunji, kind of in the diaspora, of how we handle Egungun, you know, the different levels from, you know, level starting at level 1.
Okay.
So yeah, the first question was ancestor veneration in general, and why do it? Why do we do it?
Well, we gotta give thanks to our elders. You know, Mojuba Bobo Ikuoluwa, yeah, those are the ones that really they were like I feel like they were like, you know, the Orishas of the United States. You know, they came here to handle business. They did what they had to do. You know, and so, long story short, in consulting IFA, we had the Orisha system very well developed here in Oyotunji. But in consulting IFA, we had to go deeper into Egungun, you know. And from the Lukumi system, we did have a good, you know, way of venerating our ancestors, you know, but IFA was saying that we need to take it further, you know. And the Yoruba culture,
Makes sense.
it goes way further, you know. And so that's when the Egbe Egungun was formed. Egungun Society was formed. And, you know, we ain't gonna go into all that. That's a lot, you know. But the Egungun Society was formed, you know, and our Alagbas, you know, really made magic happen, you know, by generating the energy of Egungun and passing it down, you know, to where that when we meet other people in the diaspora and in traditional Africa, they wouldn't tell the difference, you know. And these are my elders that were able to do that. We give respect to an elder that's still living today, Chief Ekunkonye. You know, he was one of the ones that was the Alagba that really rallied the people to bring structure, you know, to Egungun society. Who's going to do what and how it's going to play out, you know, because Egungun society, number one attributes is structure, you know, not more than other egg base, but presented more. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have to show that structure to the people with our presentations. And so the showman of that structure, Ekunkonye did, and so the Alagba started coming out, you know, and the elders that really helped develop this Egungun with him was the Chief Adeyemi, Ibada Toron, Chief Ajamu, Ibada Toron, and Bale Oguntosin, who was my Baba, Ibada Toron, you know. So it was inevitable for me to be doing this, you know, because my Baba, you know, was one of the ones that was like all on me, like, you know, when we started this is what was the focus, you know. So even as Egungun progress, you know, he kept me level to what was the focus, the foundation of it. And that spirit, you know, we gotta hold on to that spirit, because that spirit is what helped us, you know, what got us here, you know. So holding on to that,
all of the hurdles and
you
know, challenging times or whatever.
And you know, my Baba gave me this book or this pamphlet that said Art with Evolution, a Yoruba Way. And he made me read this pamphlet. And in this pamphlet, it explained how Yoruba culture, you hold on to the tradition, but that's why it's so much study, because you gotta learn the tradition, everything what it is, and you add it in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you add it in. So today's Yoruba culture is not like the old days Yoruba culture, but you still got the old days Yoruba culture.
You gotta, you gotta have, because it's the foundation.
So those people, when you find those elders or those priests, that's like, okay, I'm doing this way, you know, this Lukumi or this Isheshe way, but not looking at the Lukumi and the Sheshe from the 80s
Right.
or the 70s. You know what I'm saying? Saying that was, you know, something that they was doing back then. You know, no, we still do that. You know, still do that, but you can add in, you know, evolution. It talked about Chiba Jamo used to talk about the Eshu with the sunglasses. That was one of his speeches. He used to let us know. You know, the Eshu with the sunglasses. That means, you know, you elevating that shoe. You know, you making that shoe cool to what's cool in today.
Right.
You know,
a lot of times you look and because that's truly Yoruba culture. Because when you look at certain egunguns, they have egunguns like when the military came into West Africa.
Yeah, you will see that
egunguns that symbolize
tell that story,
history. At this time, this is what.
And they didn't chop that egungun away when they were over military rule. You know? They didn't say, okay, we're not doing that egungun no more.
Because it happened.
It happened.
So it's just like the people trying to take the books out now.
No,
it happened.
It happened. It happened. So that's why we always coming up with new Yoruba books, new egungun books. You can't really stop. But you know, and that's another thing with the books. That's what I want to bring up. The books. Okay. So the books, you know, here we are with a lot of books, a lot of information, you know, and the book should come from an elder, you know, or your teacher, you know. You shouldn't go in and just get a book, you know. The book should come from your elder. Just picking it up, you know, just picking up books, and so that's why the elder has to proofread the new books, you know?
That's true.
So that you can say, okay, this is a good one. I like what this one talking about. My mama used to do that with me too. He'd be like, yo, you ever heard this new author, you know? Because a lot of young guys, you should check them out. Like, this guy's on it, you know?
Yeah, he used to show me. Your Baba, whenever I came to visit, he would call me to the side and be like, and bust out a book. And I'm like, where Baba getting these books from?
Deep research.
Deep stuff, you know, like deep stuff. You know, these different books. And it's Yoruba. Yoruba books. A lot of them was like tradition. On tradition or like egungun or something like that. He would quote something. But that foundation, keeping that, you got to. That's when stuff start getting out of hand, you know, okay, we gotta go back. We gotta go back here.
You know, my Baba started me buying, he got me not afraid to buy Yoruba books that was fully in Yoruba language. Because, you know, my Baba, he understood his peoples, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, look, they're gonna give us the information, but what they ain't gonna give us, they're gonna put it in their language.
Language,
You know what I'm saying? So don't be scared of that book and translate it. You know, don't be scared to translate. I got a couple books in straight Yoruba, you know, that I study. You know, and it helps your Yoruba if you can't figure it out. You know, but I've seen plenty of books in my Baba's cabinet was just all Yoruba, and I'm like, what they doing with these things? Like, yo, what's up with that? But I understand now, you know.
But elders in Oyotunji, and that's so true what you're saying, Alagba, because now it's bringing me back. A lot of elders at that time when we was coming up, we didn't just go like kids can go just buy a book, any book now, right? Now you got the phone, so you know. But the elders used to say, like my yaya, she used to say, read this book.
This book.
She didn't read it already. So if it's good, she gonna say,
you know it's coming from her.
Read this book. You know what I mean? So
you need to read.
A lot of the information that was passed to you from the elders.
It was Segu.
Right, Segu.
Marimba Aniwan, Urugu, you know, history of the Yoruba, sociology of Yoruba,
palm wine tapper.
Yeah.
Brother Wood to the jump.
Chief
Chief would be on to those.
He used used to read
I got
it
all
to
of
us. When we was in his class.
When he
like
got older, I think he lost those books because he was telling me about it. And I bought the palm wine drinker.
Palm wine drinker.
Yeah.
It was by Amos Tutuola.
Amos Tutuola.
Yeah.
I got like 5 of them books.
Yeah.
The Feathered Witch of
the Jungle.
He put me on to that.
Yeah.
That was when he started getting sick.
and Wole Soyinka, one of the other authors that they would put us on. But Johnson's History of the Yoruba.
Okay.
You know, and of course Johnson did the IFA book. Like even in IFA, they gave us, basic understanding of IFA about Johnson, William Bascom
was
that's a book that we. Like if I got our woe that we working with, we know what we talking about because we know that page. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like we're not gonna just be like, oh well, I heard. We got a first basic understanding,
right? And
we can go from there.
And
we got a good basic understanding.
Our Sagement passed on William Bascom to me as like a study guide for an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I have the Kingdoms of the Yoruba. I can't remember the name of the author though.
Yeah. The Kingdoms of the Yoruba. Yeah, the Kingdom of the Yoruba.
White book.
That's one of the books. That's one of the books. That's where we learned the lines of Obas.
Right.
That's another thing in our Yoruba history class. We had Yoruba history. That's one thing that we're going to get from having our own school.
Right.
Being able to implement what
teach
we want.
Tell history, period. History in general in a perspective that's meaningful to us.
Yeah.
That we can digest it and actually have some type of awareness of where we are now.
Yeah.
Because we, growing up regular school, history was terrible.
One thing I can say the Royal Academy did for me, build my pride. And confidence, and to be proud to walk as a Omo Karo Jiwe, Omo Dudua.
We didn't have none of that. We was out there in public school.
Right.
No,
we got that when we went out.
We got that, but we didn't. Even when I went to college, I was straight out of Yoruba Royal Academy.
Right.
Straight out of Yoruba Royal Academy.
You went to an HBCU,
and I went to HBCU.
That wasn't too big of a.
It wasn't too big of a jump as far as the people.
Right.
But as far as the welcome, because I coming from Oyotunji, when we go out, that means somebody has paid for us to go out.
Right.
Somebody has. Right. It's a program that we're going to.
Yeah, it's been a transaction made.
Yeah. and they all over us like, oh, those are the drummers. The drummers are here. And so the people are already accepting of us. It's like, okay, we out. We out. We with the king, we with the Oba,
So it's different than when you go
now
to school,
I'm here, and I'm not gonna put on a t-shirt and blend in. Wear my dashiki and shokoto. Go to class. And talk to people, tell them who I am. One thing I did, two things. The first thing was the African Americans were still on that Christian feel of how we treat nature. So I was like, I do sacrifice.
Too African.
I was too African. They wasn't. I do sacrifice.
You anything past the dashiki, anything past Roland Martin. So
you pass it.
Anything past that, look, it's too much.
People started turning their eye on me so fast. Look at that, this guy is weird. Oh my God. And I build with a lot of people. I go to the culture scene. So the 5% crew was out. Those became my crew.
All that,
Those became my crew.
Because More Science Temple, 5%ers.
They didn't like what I didn't like, right?
Right.
But they didn't play that spiritual stuff either.
That's where the conversation is. You bring up some voodoo or something.
Nothing. It's arm, leg, arm, hand.
What's the day's mathematics?
That's what I did. But numerology, we got. we debated on numerology a lot too.
Yeah.
And that's what I like, because we got a numerology system too.
Don't go too far. Don't go too African.
Don't go too African.
That's still true today in certain places. Don't go too African.
No, don't go too African.
Yeah.
But now we got the Africans because we had Africans there too.
Right.
So growing up, I thought I was cool with the Americans. And because all my American friends knew who I was.
Right.
They probably talked about Tunji enough around us so they know what we do.
Right.
So they know, they actually come to us. So that part I didn't understand when I first met everybody. And they didn't understand that
you get the same.
That I do sacrifices of chicken.
Yeah.
I told them I eat them too, but they didn't want to hear that part. They didn't care about that.
You know that's funny though, right? That's all they hear because you look how far removed we are from nature.
Yeah.
My daddy grew up on a farm, so it's like you said, it's the word though. It's the word sacrifice. They killed plenty of animals and they ate them or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Essentially, that's what we doing. But when you put that sacrifice in there, it's like they don't understand that.
They don't understand.
You doing something.
But now I thought I was so African that I was actually looking at the Nigerian government growing up in Oyotunji.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was looking at the Nigerian government over United States government.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was that African.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like all of the superstars was my
somebody else to identify with. Another culture.
Until I got to college.
Right.
Then it's like, hey, you are not Yoruba, or you're not really Yoruba. You almost. Almost. And so, I got to learn that the hard way. I got, they try me. They try their little tricks. What's the word? They scams. They scams. The scams was real. The scams got real. But other than that, I think it was all good. A lot of people end up knowing me because I stayed there for like 6 years. I did a double bachelor's. So a lot of people did get to know me, and I, started bringing up a lot of people.
It was a little easy.
By the third year, they knew who I was. I had another dashiki wearer with me.
Right.
And I had a couple sisters.
This guy ain't that bad.
I wasn't the only dread because I was the only dread when I first started. What? I was the only dreadlock.
What? That's crazy.
It was dreadlocks in the community. Shout outs to Orangeburg. That's a nice community.
So let's talk about. So the second part of the question was, can you break down how ancestor veneration occurs? Let's start at the most basic level.
Okay.
And this is an example of an ancestor altar, as y'all can see behind us. This is just a basic. This is like. Would you agree? This is like level 1.
This is level 1, but level 1 can be even.
It would be low.
It'd be lower than that.
It can be on the floor.
As small as a candle, water, and a picture. But the science that my elders developed was a science of returning. As we say, Sankofa. Returning to your tradition. So you have ancestors that are slave ancestors and oppressed ancestors, and so now that you got these ancestors that's oppressed, you gotta bring them in bit by bit,
Clean them up.
you gotta bring them in,
charge them up,
especially when we do pay for our crimes. Especially since we do. So now you got to do the work to bring these people back to a good elevation. If they have been living some type of wrong way the whole time they've been here, So the development starts with you just bringing them candle water and a picture. That's your first level of ancestral worship. Then you can talk to it as much as you can. Give it candles. you can start adding to it, making it better, and everything like that. Getting a more development with your ancestors.
Right.
You know, talk to them, get to know them well. After that, then we will suggest that you find out what ancestors you're dealing with. You know, so now here's your roots reading.
Right.
You know, your roots reading will tell you which ancestors you come down from, which lineage, which side you come down from. That side that you come down from, that's your access back to the heavens, to
like your mother's or your father's side.
Your mother's side or your father's side. So if you come through your mother's side, you go back up to your mother's side to connect with your father's side, your father's fathers, and your mother's mothers, and you know, all the way back to Africa and wherever else they go.
Right.
You know, so it starts there. Once you find that out, find out what, you know, we also find out Orisha and Odu, because that's the feng shui not the feng shui, of the look.
That's
the look of, yeah, that's navigating to level 2. Now you got to look for your ancestor altar, you know? Now you got a style.
Based on the information that was gathered during the divination of what type of people,
yes,
you know, your ancestors were. Were they blacksmiths?
Yeah.
Were they in the politics? Were they kings? Were they, you know, warriors? Were they soldiers?
What they like. Some things, some symbols they like to be around to help them generate. So you find different symbols out. Different totems.
Totem,
patron, Orisha.
The color.
Yeah, the color.
What type of occupation?
I said, what they did. And it's always great to put something, if you have something that belonged to any of your ancestors, you know, that is a very powerful way, to make your altar very powerful. It's a simple way to make your altar very powerful. So, please continue with Alagba.
Okay, so we are at the roots reading. So you have your roots reading. Now,
so what is a roots reading for the people?
The roots reading is a reading to find out your family, your Oro Idile, the language, the content, the tradition of your family.
So it's like a spiritual.
It's like Ancestry.com.
It's like a spiritual
on a spiritual level,
right?
You know,
spiritualancestry.com. So and also during this process, you want to be doing as much research and finding out more about your ancestor lineage on your own, doing that family research too.
Yes, well, you know, the person that, of course, you got to deal with an ancestral priest or a member of Alagba Gungun, you know, so that person would have you do your research before we get to this point.
Right.
You know, because you would have to have known what
that's
ancestors.
Something that you want to be doing. That starts at level 1.
That starts
find
at
out
level
more
1.
about who your people were, because the more you find out about your ancestors, the more you find out about yourself.
Yeah, that will grow it, because you find out, you know, grandma so-and-so like so-and-so, so you put that on your altar, you know, put these things on your altar. You should be at that point where you know a little bit about your ancestors that are current, you know, before you get your roots reading.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that when you get your roots reading, then you know how to place them.
I see.
You know? Of course, you are responsible for your other side of your family too. So don't just sun them out once you find out which line you come from. That's just the line that you come from, you know. But as we know, we say Ara Arun King King.
Right.
That is Ara Arun King King. That is the first heavenly dwellers.
Amen.
So that means your last grandma goes up and becomes the first one.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So like even though she just came out, she still is connected to the first human being that came.
Exactly.
You know? Because they become one. You know? And so that's why we just find out what side you came down to. Right. You know, because you got to now you got to come to.
It's like your dominant side, like spiritually. Like, you know, some people you even know without all of this, you know, you're either more connected to your mother's side of the family or your father's side. So spiritually, that's all we're finding out. Most people already kind of know that.
So my name is Babatunde. So Babatunde is the name for a person that is reincarnated.
Return,
Yeah. So I am my grandfather returned.
Grandfather.
And so things that I'm doing is my
Your
mother
energy
knows.
is very grandfatherly.
Yeah. But no,
No, that's real though. Like that's a good brother right here.
Yeah, my energy is grandfatherly. It could be that. But I would show traits of my grandfather. You know, I would do things that I still do things that my dad say.
Yeah.
You know, get some like the grandfather. You know, so we do act like that. I say. You know. So once you get your roots reading, you consecrate your ancestors. You know, this is various ways,
right.
And one of the major things that I like to talk about consecrating your ancestors is that every ancestor is not always at the same elevation process and level. You know, so you don't consecrate all your ancestors.
Right.
You know, you might have some ancestors that are rapists or murderers or just bad people.
Still,
and they got some things to work on. You know, so through divination and all those things. Of course, it'll come up in the roots reading, but as they pass after the roots reading, you see what I'm saying? After the roots reading, you need to find out how this person is doing. And it's inevitable. You know, you don't just say, okay, homeboy, he just died because people killed him because he raped somebody. You know, just as an example. You don't just go and say, okay, I'm gonna elevate him. No, I gotta see what I gotta do. I gotta see what I gotta do. If I care enough. You know what I'm saying? In some cases, you shouldn't care enough. You know, because the family gonna beat them up in heaven.
That's what
in
I'm
your
saying.
ancestor shrine.
So the ancestors that you are elevating, they can handle that better than we can.
But you don't put them on the shrine because they like, hey,
that's a great
we
point.
ain't cool.
We don't want to bring that type of energy.
And we don't even put white people on our shrine. Can I say that? Am I gonna get y'all?
Well, I mean, I hope we wouldn't have anybody white.
I don't want y'all to get.
I do. I have a white grandfather.
You do? You put him on the shrine?
No, I'm sorry. My great, not my grandfather. His father was white, so my great grandfather.
You put him on the shrine?
I don't really. I ain't got a picture of him. I don't know nothing about him. Probably wouldn't. He came through once a year.
I've heard a story. You know, I've heard stories of ancestor shrine burning. You know, because you got candle. You know, you got light.
I'm good.
And so
I'm not looking for a picture.
My elders have told me. You know, this is what they felt the reason was because this person has put in. You know, it's like the oppressor. You're putting them on your ancestor shrine with your ancestor that you're trying to elevate.
You know, and he won't like that. I mean,
it's not that he was
clearly
like
a mistake.
No, of course it wasn't that he was like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's the factor of they might not know that. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's what I'm saying is he wasn't like that to the point where I would like go to look for his picture and want to put him on.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He's one of them donors.
He was one, it was like a little mistake.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy.
And it is what it is.
It is what it is. And we never found out. We don't know who the mom was. Who like my grandmother's, my mom's dad, So my mom's dad's wife or whatever she was. We don't know who that was. Obviously she was a black lady. Because my granddad came out mixed. So my granddad's mother, that's what I'm trying to get at. On my mom's side. We don't know who she was. We just know that granddad, the white guy, the daddy of my granddaddy owned a car lot somewhere in Richmond. Used to come through every year in a new car and drop off gifts. And you know, like I don't even think he got out the car. Like on some, he gonna make the shrine. He can't make the shrine, bro.
I got you.
So we on level 2.
But now
that's the story.
I do add a native side if I know that I'm native. You know?
Of course, because that's part of your.
Those are
part of your lineage. That's part of your ancestry.
And they're not going to disturb my ancestor shrine. See, that's one thing you want to know. This is ancestor shrine.
Right.
So just a prerequisite, I wouldn't suggest, me personally, I wouldn't suggest your ancestor shrine being in your private areas.
Okay.
Where you bring in your close friends. Because if you have an argument with someone, your ancestors gonna take your side. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, who you talking? Yeah, who you think
in the accident or
for
something?
real? Who you think you cursing out in front of me? You cursing out, and you elevated your ancestors. You know?
Yeah.
You at level 5, and we didn't get to level 5 yet. Okay, so.
We still on.
Keep my native. I put my loose readings. I got my pot now, a vessel that has certain items that deal with the spirit of my ancestors.
Right. That's level 2.
That's level 2. Put that on your ancestor shrine. Now you know exactly how your ancestor shrine is supposed to look like. I will give you the elevated version of it. You know. Where you have candles on each corner, you know, 9 glasses, which they already had, some plants, flowers, always food because they eat when we eat. Always fresh water, some African art, some African artifacts. You know, obviously to be for my tribe or my ethnicity.
Something
I figured out where I'm from.
Right,
you know, to my peoples, or my Orisha or my Odu, that my peoples are from. You know, you will see that fabric, that African fabric. You will have incense, you know, to keep the smell nice. You know, keep good smell around. And you will have the things that they like. You know, by this time you should know what they like. If
tobacco,
they smoke
cigarettes or cigars,
put their brand of cigarette up there,
coffee, or
put their brand of liquor, their favorite brand of liquor, their favorite. Because now is a time that they can indulge.
I see.
You know, and that's one thing that we. That's one good thing that was installed in me. That hey, as an ancestor, you can indulge in all this. But while you're here, you gotta pace yourself.
Right.
You know, you gotta pace yourself while you're here. But once you get into that, and then my Bobby's always said that you ain't no egungun. You think you can just take on everything. You know, you can just have everything because you're in egungun. You know, and that's with everything. That's like with don't eat all the ice cream. You know. That's egungun only can do that, you know. Only can handle that without getting sugar diabetes or something. You know, they're the ones that can handle that. So now we got the ancestor shrine, and now that vessel that we have, that is to consecrate your egungun that is to be paraded. So you get the vessel. Within those vessels, there are condiments in there that is used for the egungun. The egungun is a cloth which is decorated. You know, I won't say masquerade or costume, but it's a cloth that is decorated that goes over your ancestral spirit. And within those condiments, we generate your ancestral spirit to possess this cloth. You know, and this cloth walks the earth from that vessel that we created. So we need those condiments in that vessel to create this welcome.
You got Shay to bring their
Ashe to bring their egungun down, and it welcomes the ancestors. You know, because ancestors ain't going nowhere. You know, we're not really making your ancestors. You know, we're just welcoming your ancestors to the cloth.
Right.
You know, and so you get the highest form of egungun worship, which is egungun parading.
Right.
You know.
So we at level. We at 3 now. We at level 3.
We at 3. Okay, we call it 3.
Yeah. Okay. It was 3.
I thought it was 4.
We just being funny, y'all.
Okay, so wherever level we at, this is
right.
This is where we at. We at parading your ancestors. You know. And so
let's talk about that, because some people looking at this, they probably like, what is he talking about right now?
Okay.
What is egungun? What is parading your ancestors?
Okay.
Let's just walk it back a little bit.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about now. Okay, so now you got your ancestors shrine out. So now it's time to really get a one-on-one with your ancestors. You know, now it's time to really show the people who your ancestors are, because I can't explain this better than I can show you.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's why you would see the egungun cloth looking so fly. You know, you see, so dynamic, doing tricks and all kind of stuff. You know, and there's another story about the tricks, but that's neither here
So
nor
can
there.
you explain a little bit, because we could go off on a tangent on that.
Yeah.
But can you explain a little bit about the power and the significance of going to level 3, or whatever level it was,
Okay.
and actually parading your agan of your family, reconnecting and bringing out that egungun from your family lineage again, that probably hasn't been done in
Yeah.
how many years?
Yeah, so
600 years?
So that
Because
is
your family used to do this.
that is a graduation right
Whether
there.
you come from Yoruba land or wherever you come from in Africa, this was done, right? So
And
you are reconnecting with something that probably hasn't happened in at least 400 years.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a necessary graduation.
Sure.
You know, just as you're going to be birthed, just as you will go through puberty,
Man.
just as you will die,
Right.
you should have that next connection to what you are going, what your name is going to be with these people.
I say.
So your next connection and your graduation from, or your position, your next position after death is a gungun.
Man.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And when you do that, then you complete the cycle. So now your ancestors can do the things that ancestors supposed to be doing.
Right.
You know, like we really don't understand the blessing of ancestor worship
It's deep.
because we haven't completed this. You see what I'm
Deep.
saying?
That's true.
So we praying and we like, oh, please help us, but we haven't completed their process. Their process is to be added to the egungun, called down with this egungun. You know, the family lineage called down with this egungun. Then you got people can really find love.
Right.
People can really find
Have
careers.
children.
People can really have children.
Because I'm gonna tell you the alternative to that is, like, you know, a friend of mine couldn't have kids for a while, and when his yay transitioned, that's when they started having children. But if it could have went a different, it probably
Yeah.
would have went a little differently.
Yeah.
Had the ancestor veneration been there
A little bit earlier.
earlier, I think it could have happened different. But it took
Her to go up there and say, hey,
exactly.
hey,
Exactly.
he don't know no
I'm gonna
better.
do this
Yeah,
for them.
Yeah.
Right? It's
She
really
just opened the way.
that
She
exactly.
opened the way
Went up there,
for her son to
and
have
opened the door
children.
because she just left here.
Right.
Yeah.
So she knew she was
So that
right
was
here
her-
close to it.
So that was her mission.
Right.
I know it's hard to do, but I want everybody to take 3 months of that time that your ancestors have passed and assess that 3 months as how great of a 3 months assess that year.
Yeah.
How great of a year that has became since that ancestor had went to heaven.
Yeah.
Even though you crying so bad,
Open up
Right.
you know what I'm
doors.
saying?
Right.
Even though you're doing so much.
Right.
And now it's like, try that after you've been doing a Google veneration. You know, so that's why you need to get into it now, so that when you die, your children will be blessed enough so that you can start working right then and there.
Yeah.
You know, when nobody from till I pass, everybody, all my brothers and sisters from the village, just right then and there.
Click right in.
Everything what they was looking for just started happening. You know, and we started moving and shaking. It
Because
wasn't
they go
no-
right up there and petition for us.
Yeah.
They were just
They
close to
open up
us.
the way.
And we're gonna do our part. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna do our rituals. We're gonna do their bar. We're gonna do their dafa. We're gonna do everything that they gotta get done. The annual gungun, they like come up there like, let's go.
Yeah, they come up.
It's already. Okay, next part of this. Let's do it. Let's finish.
Deep. It's really, it's powerful.
And you don't scared. I was never scared of dying because of that.
Right.
You know, he used to be like, look, like he designed his gungun kind of like to me, you know.
Yeah.
But and a lot more other stuff, you know. But he knew that we're gonna be okay.
Right.
Like, I can imagine he probably was just like, okay, all right, what was Tunde saying he needed as he was dying?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What did Lottie say he wanted? What did Jimmy say he wanted? I'm about to go to work. I'm going straight to work. I'm going straight to work. I'm about to get this going. So they better not slack on my rooster. They better not slack on my round. They better get in there right now. On my 40 day. You know what I'm saying? They did it. And all my big guy. You know what I'm saying? And
My yeye went straight to work.
Yeah.
She transitioned
straight to work. They go straight to work.
The stuff that didn't need to be in my life started steadily trickling away, and the things that belong started entering.
Yeah, and it's not one-sided.
She's still working.
She's still working.
Because the ancestors, they do all types of things for us. They close the door of early death too, so that we don't come home early.
And your desires in life, and your dreams, and the things that the goals that you want to accomplish, the ancestors will go when they transition.
Yeah.
They will go because they know they will go and like you said, partition that my son.
Petition for you. That's what the ancestors do for
open
us.
the door,
Yeah.
so that my son can do the things that he want to do.
I say.
You know, and we do the same for our children.
So
we're gonna make the same petition.
So that's whatever level that was, and then I guess the pinnacle would be initiation. If you're called to do that, or whatever the case may be.
Well, with initiation, you're going to go through all that process.
I say,
you know, you're going to get
initiation includes everything we just talked about, plus initiation,
and plus, you gotta receive the gatekeeper. You know,
some other spiritual items.
You know, initiation and position. Right. You know, so
So, Alagba, can you do you want to mention anything about your businesses that you want the people to know and how they can contact you? And also, let's start with this since we're talking about Egungun. Let's start really quick with, and this will be the last question or topic. The services that the Egungun Priesthood Society here at Oyotunji Kingdom, the services that are provided by the Egungun Society.
Okay. Well, if you just like to become part of the Egungun Society, we will be in charge of everything that I explained. You know, so you can contact the Egungun Society to give you directions for your ancestor altar.
Right.
You know, you can give them directions to actually consecrating a spot for your ancestor altar. Not consecrating your ancestors, but just the spot, and recognizing them and putting them in a good area, and putting you in a good, comfortable position in how you can venerate them.
Right.
That's a lot of classes, a lot of workshops, you know, can be done and has been done on just that level.
Right.
And then the Ancestor Society, Egbe Egungun, is called on for actually setting up your ancestors. You know, so you got the roots readings. If you need a roots reading, you can contact Egbe Egungun. We have various different Olorisha and Babalawo that does, and various Awos. Let me not give past myself.
Put me down under Omo Awo.
Okay, all the way down.
I will get that.
Omo Awo can get it.
I will teach them. No, don't put us down as one of those.
Babalawo.
Not the Babalawo.
Not the 2 weeks of initiation.
Not the Oluwo.
Not the Alagba.
Don't put me there. Don't put me there.
I will get that.
So what else does
so we are
we do
roots readings, then we do consecration. We get
to that.
Consecration of ancestors.
Right.
You know, shrines that give you the pot, and you know, this is like a focal point where you can call on your ancestors at any place, at any time, at this certain area where this pot is. You know, so you get that. Then if you like, which you should, if you got your ancestor part, want to parade that ancestor.
Right.
We make the agan for you. The agan will be made in accordance to your roots reading.
Right.
You know? And if you notice, if you ever watch Egungun, there's different Egunguns for different ethnicities in the Yoruba culture, you know? So that is made to your ethnic lineage and paraded by the Egungun Society. The funeral services are assisting the priest of that particular ancestor, you know. We are there to do burial rites and funeral rites. You know, we also are called Egungun have a good structure of funeral process. You know, so if you're looking for a minister to administer a traditional process of having a funeral service, which we call Isinku. Yeah, so we can host that for you. You know, at wherever location you like. The Egungun parade, because we have our own Egungunla, which is the great ancestors of our community. We have Alagba, which is the commissioner, the executioner, the judge, the one that's over keeping the culture. And we have Baba Ileka, who is the teacher and the student, the school system. We have Onidan, which is the magic. Onidan is the magic. You know, we need that magic, and we have Egungun Yeye, which is over the great mothers. And of course, we know that aspect is a big aspect of its own. And so these Egunguns are able to come and bless your town or bless your community. A lot of times we've been blessing museums and universities. Universities study this because Egungun is structure. When we bring out Egungun line, that is the structure of a community.
So all the colleges, universities, different schools, whatever, you know, y'all got budgets and you want to do something different for your school, for your students and your kids. We do Egbe, the Egungun Society will come and do workshops, presentations, bringing out Egungun, doing a performance, showing, you know, drumming and the whole nine. So you can also book us for those services as well. Ashe. Any other business that you wanted to plug real quick before we give our last words for the podcast today?
I do construction. I got a construction company.
Okay. Brother can build anything, y'all.
I'm blessed.
Stucco, you do it all.
I'm so blessed to not have an advertisement program, because my trade, which is stucco, plastering, anything, any masonry work, you know, I've been working up with a lot of black contractors, you know, and so now it's like one got this program, I'm going on this program. The other one I got this program, I'm on this program. And the other one got this program, I'm on this program. You know, so I got things already lined up that I don't even advertise my construction business, but I do want to let y'all know I do construction. You know, I do construction. Because if I advertise, I'm gonna have to tell you I ain't got no time.
But here's the thing that eventually, and maybe sooner than you think, you'll have the capacity and the resources to take on that extra work. Because that's one thing as black business owners and black businesses that we need to inspire to move towards is learning how to grow and scale our companies and our businesses without us having to be there. Right. Because you could take on some more jobs. You're not going to be out there working them, but you'll have trained people that know what they're doing. Well, you'll be checking on them, and that's how you grow.
Okay, go ahead.
You said you pass that on because it's hard nowadays to get older people to work with you. They may not show up to the job. But when you get those young kids and you train them young kids,
it's some people out there that want to work.
Now you got your school,
right?
You got your trade school, because you teaching them and they out there working,
right?
And by the time they get 14, you take them at 7, 8 or 9. By the time they get 14, they're gonna have a skill. They're gonna know how to frame something. and stucco something, so they ain't got to go on the street.
Right.
They got a trade already.
Well, that takes time.
It takes time.
That takes time and trial and error.
Yeah.
So like because if you want a person to do this, like when I was in college, y'all know when y'all was in college, y'all was struggling artists. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, if you really want to do this, I gotta let you know, ain't no big glory in living. You know, because you're in education, you about to learn something. But it's hard for people now to go to school and learn something after a certain age. Yeah. And then it's hard to get people under a certain age to see that a skill in a trade is something valuable. You know what I'm saying?
You get them and they don't know nothing.
Right.
Yeah, that's the other part. You get them and they don't know nothing.
And it just becomes.
They realize it.
Yeah,
by the time they realize
it. But they don't have to do it. They can, but they know how to do it. Even if they might do it like, if times get hard, they know they can fall back on that.
Yeah.
You know, to make $1, to make some money to put food on the table.
Right.
But they have that skill.
Right.
Like I can, personally, I got out of construction. You know, I did inspection
fall
thing.
back,
But if I want to fall back, I can go back out. I can go get an inspector job or whatever. But that's not my thing. But it's something you have.
Yeah. Once you have it, you have it.
That's why a lot of students now are going back to. A lot of students are getting a trade before they even go to college.
It's starting to come
university. It's coming back.
Yeah, it's coming back. It needs to come back a little faster. Yeah. Because right now I'm surrounded by Mexicans. You know, like I'm surrounded. You know, and I love Mexicans.
Our Mexican brothers and sisters, but
I was just saying, if this was a nation building conversation,
it is.
So
we always.
So in that aspect, you know, we gotta understand, and sometimes. I get this with my own people because I mostly employ my people's people. Right. And luckily we grew up learning these trades. Right. So I got a couple people I can really call on that knows this trade well. Other people already know the flow of working because they work for Oyotunji. Right. You know, so I can trust them to work. Right. You know, but a lot of times you get people that really want to get a trade, but they want to get paid to learn the trade. You know? Yeah, you may not be able to get hard for that sacrificing. You know? Now what I learned from my Mexicans, shout out to my Mexicans, is that what they do, and which we can do, is bring a person in, and make them like work with them to where they don't even look like they not knowing what they do. They do a smooth thing like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like they working all together. You can't even tell this person just came on the job.
He's just a label. He's just doing certain things.
But he got a tool in his hand. You know what I'm saying? And he's doing something, but right after he doing somebody right behind him. You know what I'm saying?
Fixing it.
And he's learning as he's going. Yes. And you can get him in under whatever price you want to get him in under. You know? Because you know nobody knows but I mean
it's like a paid internship. We give you a few dollars. You don't know nothing, but we gonna teach you. And you ain't want to embarrass us, you know, because you're not gonna get the job. Like I can't keep getting jobs if they see me put in amateurism. Right. If I'm always trying to teach, you see what I'm saying? Like they're not going. They're not gonna work. That's not what we do.
Because that's another thing about me employing my people from Oyotunji. We'll speak Yoruba in a minute. You know, we'll speak Yoruba. You know, so that the head contractors and superintendents, they don't know what nothing was going on. You know, so that is the beauty of that, and that was the focus, and that's why you know. I think, you know, this is a good thing because future, the kids are going to learn this language and we're going to be able to do it with them soon too. But that's who I'm messing with. I'm really messing with the children, you know. I am taking them on. I just want them to really try to take the trade, you know? Like take the trade.
They can do, like you said, they can do whatever you want to do later, but learn this. You always have something. You can support yourself, your family. You'll be okay.
And you can learn the trade within 2 months if you wanted to.
Right.
You hungry?
You know, if you're hungry, you can learn it in 2 months.
Right.
Or you can learn it in a year.
Yeah.
You know, whichever way you want to do. But a lot of people, man, you know how it be.
Oh yeah.
This is the one thing I say. I don't even know if I should say this, but I'm telling you, this person, they weren't a good person. But I'm not talking about the person and what they did. I'm talking about the structure and the system that they set up, and they were ingenious. A lot of people, you know, geniuses are, they can either be crazy, you know, good or bad. But you know, in Germany, your boy Hitler, terrible guy, that was terrible stuff he did. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how he organized his people. That's what I'm talking about right now. He created a system almost like a draft, basically, where not necessarily you was going to war, but you was going to do something. Like if you didn't go to war, whether you cook, whether you knew how to sew for the uniform, whether you learned how to build something, whether you welding, electric, plumbing, whatever, you had to go do one of it. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that was how he set it up. That's that everybody had to come through, and they did. Everybody, nobody sitting around while everything was going on, and they just over there in the corner
plotting.
Yeah, just
plotting.
Just
those
chilling.
ones that
Legs
plotting. Those
crossed.
ones that be like, I don't know if I understand what he talking about. He wants to hate all these people. No, if you get them to work, they don't even got time to even.
And you know how Hitler, he get down and lay down like this. We're not playing. Like this is they round.
But
like,
you gonna benefit if you work. So
everybody had to do something.
Yeah.
That was the way that I saw that on a video or a documentary or something I saw one day, and I was like, well, let me
You
take
mean
the
every
good part out of
German?
it. His people. Yeah, not the Jewish.
So that's
his
what I'm
people.
saying. But see, that means that he was paying his peoples.
Yeah,
They were being taken care of.
Yeah,
because I
was
heard
getting something out of it.
I did hear that when they did their confiscation camp, like them Germans was just walking around like it's like flowers and everything.
Like dang, you know, that's crazy.
So great,
you know what I mean?
So that means they got a job.
Yeah,
whether what it is they trade in.
You had a job. You was part of a organism.
Yeah, because they had to create that resistance to
war
to
going
the
on,
United States and the
all
whole
going
thing
on, right? So every able person had to be contributing, and he assigned that role. Let's say you did this for 3-4 months, and you found out you was horrible.
He assigned every citizen.
Every person
he did
able, not him.
I mean, you
but his administration.
Okay.
If you was able-bodied, you did something. And if you wasn't good at it, let's say 3-4 months later, we found you're not really good at this, you just put you over here.
Yeah.
Maybe find out okay, I don't like this, but I think I like that. All right, but you
that's
was
what
doing
they
something.
call mad genius.
Yeah.
They call you a mad
That's what he
genius.
was, man. Yeah, that's what he was.
That was smart.
Everybody was busy, so that's kind of the system that we got to set up here, where it's like, all right, you around here, you got to plug into this, you got to do something.
All right.
But anyway,
extra treat the Jews wrong.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, minus all that. We not killing nobody, we treating nobody.
We ain't trying to get cut off early.
Right.
But you got to do something.
We trying to create a system to build. Now we talking about nation building.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody got to do something.
Yeah.
Something.
Don't get Kanye, okay?
No, we don't want to do that. Because we don't want to, we love ourselves.
Yeah.
And we don't have to kill nobody to prove
that's
that.
the thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Being pro-South is really
doesn't mean we anti-anything. Right?
Yeah, for real.
We're anti-negativity. We're anti-stupidity. We're anti-ignorance. Whatever color or shape, form that comes in, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
We're allergic to all that. Stay sucker free.
Yeah. We welcome all visitors too.
Yeah.
We welcome all visitors. I don't matter where you at, what shape, size, color you are. We welcome, and that's how we've been in Oyotunji. Like, we have people come from the Lukumi tradition, Isheshe tradition.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
And
Santeria and Doble.
They would be priests. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not like, oh, they don't do what we do.
Right.
They're gonna come, we're gonna play the drums, whether we playing stand-up drums or bata drum.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're gonna come, they're gonna get
in where they fit in.
They're gonna get possessed most definitely.
Right.
You know,
right.
Coming down to the African village for the first time. I'll be waiting because every time we get a visiting priest, it's like they're gonna show out. You know, they're gonna show who they are, you know, and where they came from. You know, and the energy is so, you know, like Sean
and we welcome that.
Or the Batali.
Welcome that. It's beautiful.
All the Orishas, they look at the new priest and be like, okay, take this.
Right.
And just drop it on them. You know, and then you'll see how they take it, you know? And it'd be beautiful, you know, it'd be beautiful. As a child, we'd probably be joking because, you know, one might be heavy foot and one might be, you know, the jazzy flow of the Lukumi dance, you know, it's a little jazzy, you know. And so we'll enjoy the difference. We'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
But it would be everything similar.
Yeah, everything
You know
is more similarities than differences.
Oh, yeah.
So we're all about unity, bringing all aspects of the Omo, Ekaro, Ejire people together, the Yoruba people, nation, if whatever you are, whatever section you come from. And just for clarity, you know, Oyotunji Kingdom was established. Of course, the first Oba was initiated in Matanzas, Cuba by the Afro-Cubans because that's what we had to do to bring it here to the States for us. And ever since then, Oyotunji has studied under and worked with, you know, not only that lineage,
everybody,
but a lot of people from Africa in different parts of Africa, right?
Akan people,
but we actually had
and celebrate with us, and they would sing the Yoruba songs with us. They would know it, you know, and they would sing their Akan songs, their Tweed songs with them. So it's
and we actually had those people from those lineages come and live here.
Yeah.
We had Cubans that come and actually stay in the men's camp. You know what I mean? And Yoruba from West Africa, Nigeria,
they come. It's the village. It's not the Lukumi village. It's not the Santeria village. It's not the Isheshe village. It's the village.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody from all the different sections are village. It's an African
village. So the African people are so much welcome.
Because that's what we are.
We don't go for that.
We're mixed. Versus Santeria versus Isheshe.
We don't do that here. We welcome.
And we study. And we see the songs. Most of the songs. You know, in my shout out to Baba Ifa Bukumi, like all the time you hear this and be like, oh, okay, they saying this, that, the third.
The songs are very similar, but I'm not gonna go in a Lukumi initiation and see the similar songs and try to sing my version on them. You know what I'm saying?
Roll with what you do.
No, I learned. That's why I'm back to Awakoya. You know, I learned many traditions that I do with my traditional people in Nigeria, you know, and I'm gonna stop saying the shit because they think I'm adapted that word, you know. Just know that I really didn't adapt that word like that because it kind of takes me out of being a Yoruba person, you know, and I'm Omo Duduwa, you know, that's just what it is, you know. So, but those traditionalists, you know, we work with them, you know, we work with them and we work with Lukumi, you know, but if I go in a Lukumi situation, then we
gonna roll under their auspices. You're not gonna come in there trying to dominate and you gotta say it this way because I'm here. No, you do what you do.
Now I don't speak Spanish, so you might not get no ques or no cheques out of me. You know what I'm saying? I don't speak it,
but you gonna roll with the program.
But I am going to sing the melody. You see what I'm saying? That melody is important, you know, because if you singing a different melody, it's the same song, but if you want to sing it a different melody and they singing another melody, and y'all trying to generate something.
Yeah, you messing up the
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you trying to generate a certain thing that's been generated for years and years and years this way.
Right.
Don't come in and say, hey, I'm going to add to the generation.
Today, right now.
I'm not going to add. I'm going to change up the generation, what we generate.
Right.
You know?
We can kick it and do that on the side, but not during the ceremony or the debate or the initiation or the, whatever it is.
Whatever it is. Even in Iku ceremony, Iku celebrations, there's Iku songs that we sing that we learned from our Afro-Cubans, and we'll sing those with them, We won't just say, hey, y'all don't know this one, but we do go in and teach them a song. And it's welcome, it's not like I'm bombarding.
Just sharing.
Yeah, we're sharing.
You can implement it.
That's how I learned their songs.
Right.
By them coming here and say, hey, we asking them, hey, can you teach us that song? How you call on Kori Koto, Kori Toto, you know what I'm saying? And how you call on Orisha Oko, we gotta
So, you have any last words, before we part? Alagba?
I'm a man of unity.
So, I can vouch for that.
If we can unify, I don't want, if anybody might feel like they can't unify with me, please let me know. You can contact me right now. I'll let you know right now. If you feel like you can't unify with me, you can call me. Somebody know my number because it ain't changed. But I'm a man of unity. And unity for the African people. African people first. I will unify with others in the name of Orisha first. I will unify with people in the name of IFA. I don't know if I'll unify in the name of Egungun because that's my ancestor. That's specifically my ancestor.
You have your own, and everybody has their own ancestral traditions and things like that that you can figure out and do.
For sure. Unify with that.
But we'll unify with that. We'll be a collective. But I really want to take this to the next level and get a good understanding. And to the youth, please know that unity is the best way out of this because the next generation has to figure out what we're going to do when people say, hey, that's this way and that's that way and that's this way and this is that way. How y'all can unify that without water washing anything, whitewashing anything, white man washing anything, without technology washing anything, that's their next, that's their challenge, and so to my youth, I sing you this word unity, because if you talk to each other, one person will help you figure it out, unity with structure now too, because somebody got to be a leader, you can't just say, okay, we all just go and go, take the person that's already in that position.
Because somebody's already
in that position. Somebody's already doing
somebody
it.
naturally
happen.
In any situation.
That's why things are inherited. That's why we say Iran Diran. So from generation to generation, you inherit, these things. So if you inherited this position and you're already in this position by you walking around your peoples and they just saying, hey, you're good. I love the way you do, the rituals. Somebody's gonna have to take that serious. And be like, hey, no, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. And I'm talking to the youth now. I'm still talking to the next generation. One of y'all gonna have to take that and say, hey, I want to learn the numbers. Then somebody's gonna say, I want to learn the song.
That's how it is.
Somebody say, I want to learn the drum rhythms.
I want to learn the chants. I want to learn the oriki. I want to learn, and then you all come together. Everybody can't learn everything. So I say. They say Modupe. Thanks for
having me. Well, I want to say I appreciate y'all. Y'all doing good.
I appreciate that.
This is a good thing.
It's a wonderful interview. We'll definitely make sure we have the Alagba back on as we continue the movement.
I guess everything.
Oh, we got
I'll come back on
plenty of topics to talk about. So this has been another episode of the greatest podcast
on the planet.
Let's talk IFA. I shall Odabo. Peace and blessings, everybody. Take care. Till next time. I say.